Hi, good afternoon. Hi, this is Christine Crow here and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I just want to go over the video that I did live last night. It's called, I'm going to put the link here. It is called Gold and Silver for Retirement, How to Protect Your Wealth After 60. Now this applies to all ages. The reason why I'm saying 60, because I'm going to be 60 in a couple of months, and these are the things that I'm doing, and I'm hoping that you're going to look at this and really observe and take this as a way of creating a safe haven for your future, for example. Now I'm going to be doing the presentation because in the video I talked about how you can create a plan, a 10-year plan, for example, and I said that I would also provide you with some free gifts. So I'm going to show you the free gifts, the free downloads, and how it works and things like that, so that you've got a stronger idea of how this actually works, so that you can actually take this on board as well to help you in your silver and gold stacking, for example, building your own vault. This is what this is all about, really. So join me as I dive into this in greater detail, for example. So the links will take you to my vaults, for example, where I've got here, for example, there's 4 items here. You'll see 12-month income potential summary. There's also the cover page, which is the silver gold planner in PDF. There's also the gold silver 10-year stacker planner, and also the gold silver 12-month stacker planner as well. See, I want you to be able to look at this and be able to use this for yourself. Now you can tweak it and make it as fancy as you want, but you'll need to download it and create your own copy, for example, because you won't be able to change it from this drive, for example. Okay, so let me crack on with this. So I'm going to go and show you what the first one is here, and the first one is the 12-month income potential summary. As I mentioned yesterday, that this is how you can build your income, for example, depending on whether the market is, for example, different scenarios, whether it's conservative, moderate, or bullish market, for example, where things are a bit higher. So, for example, I talked about yesterday, if it was conservative, then it would be 7,620, for example, and you would get a monthly income of $635, for example, a month. Now, if it was a moderate income, for example, because the gold and silver has gone up, for example, which it would in 5 to 10 years, yes, it will go up. Usually between 7 and 12 years, it becomes like a bullish type of market. Okay, so the moderate would be 11,430, for example, which would give you a monthly income, for example, and this is additional with your pension and any other funds that you have coming in, for example. So this would give you $952.50, for example. Now, if it was at the higher value, the bullish market value, it would be $15,240, for example, which would then give you a monthly pension of $1,270. So this is just really breaking this down as a 12-month planner, for example, of what you can expect to earn once you purchase gold or silver, for example. Now I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, for example, and I'm going to show you you should also be able to download this. It says cover page silver gold planner. So I'm just going to open that up, and this also is kind of like a workbook. It gives you some information, really, depending on what you're planning on saving per month, for example. And the reason why I've got 5,000 here is because that is when you get to a certain age level, you really want to be looking at what you can afford to put aside for your fund, for your freedom fund. And this is what I call this, your freedom fund, for example, for your pension, or whenever you need to have this in 10 years time. You may not be of pension age, it depends. You could be 25 and it's 35 that you're looking at this, and you want to put money down on a house, for example, with a family, build a family, for example, or to pay for a trip around the world, or to pay for whatever it is that you want to pay for example. So this was created by me and Christine Crow. There's also my affiliate link here. If you are interested in buying gold and silver, I get a small fee for this, but this is a reputable dealer as well for you to purchase your gold and silver from, your coins, or whether you are doing gold bars, bullions, for example. The choice is yours. So this is part of my wealth building for over 60. Now, I created a mission, a vision, a mission 10 years ago, for example. In 2013, I created a vision and mission, for example, and I did that. I achieved that. So now I'm now working on my vision beyond my vision, for example. And this is whereby I'm building my wealth for retirement, for example. I'm planning that ahead of time, because now retirement age looks like it's going to be like 70, for example. At the end of the day, I want to work for as long as possible. So I'm looking at a 10-year plan, for example. Okay, so this is part of my system, because at the end of the day, it's important that we build wealth. We create wealth. Don't leave it up to someone else to do it. Try and do it for yourself if you can. Even if you're starting off with $35 a month and you're buying a coin a month. Imagine what that will be like in 10 years time, for example. And even if you was to do what I'm going to be talking about doing, which is building your own gold and silver business, then that also is going to create a revenue income stream so that you can build this wealth plan as well for your future. Okay, so you'll see here that the reason why I've dedicated this to helping you secure your future, and I've created this from my own journey of building wealth and protecting my family's legacy, for example. So use this planner to track your gold and silver stacking, set clear goals, and build your freedom fund 1 ounce at a time. So let's stack together and build a future where we're proud of, for ourselves and for our families. So in this planner, for example, you've got to set your goals. What are your goals? Okay, so I recommend that it really depends, like I said, how much you've got available to spend each month. Okay, so if you're able to spend, say, $635 a month, for example, £635 a month, that's about $800 a month, for example. And I know not many people will have that, but like I said, start off at $35 a month, whatever it is that you can afford to save. Something is better than nothing. Okay, I started off from very humble backgrounds. Okay, consistency is key here. Buy monthly to average your price. So write out what your goal is. My monthly goal is £635 a month. Or you may say my monthly goal is $35 a month, for example. When are you going to start? I would suggest you start as soon as you get your next pay, for example. So put that as your start date. And when is that end date going to be? 10 years time, for example, and put the date there, because then you're making it real. You're saying to yourself, you're making a commitment to yourself that this is what you're going to do. So you would put the date 2035, for example. The day, like for example, today is the 5th of April, for example, 2035 is your end date, for example. Okay, so then you'd look at what your growth scenarios are. Okay, so use the table, for example, of what your potential outcomes could be. So on a conservative level, after 10 years, you could have £76,000, for example. You can convert that to dollars, for example, at a conservative level. If you're doing if it's a moderate level, because you don't know how much the gold and silver is going to be in those 10 years time, which is going to increase. It always holds its value and increases, for example. Okay, so that's £123,000, for example, if it is, you know, a moderate growth. And when I say pounds, it could be dollars, $123,000. Then the bullish growth market, where it's surged like how it is at the moment, where prices have doubled, then you could receive an amount of $225,000, for example. So put in this field what your personal target is. Now I would be looking at the average. So I would say my target is 123,000, for example, and that is what I would use for my pension, for example, as a top up to what I would be getting when I am pension ageable, for example. Now you'll see here in this planner, for example, you will see tracking the progress. So it's month 1, 2, 3, all the way up to month 12, and it's the amount that you've invested, whether you bought gold, whether you bought silver, maybe you bought both. So you need to put that in month 1 and what the amounts was that you invested, all the way up to when you get to 12 months, for example. So each month you put what you've what you've purchased, for example, and the amount and the ounce. Then the next thing is your legacy. So your family, your wealth plan, who will benefit from this stack? Will it be you, or will it be your family members if something was to happen to you? So which family members would benefit from this legacy plan that you've created? And then what you need to do is put the names of the family members and then leave a note. For example, write notes. You can use this bottom section here, personal notes, for the family members, what you want them to have, what the percentages are. So there's no arguments. The amount of times I've worked for a law firm, and I've also experienced it myself, whereby there's been a family argument to do with inheritance, and you don't really want to be in that situation. You don't want your family members to be in that situation. But if you make it clear and it's written whilst you're able to, for example, or where it can't be contested, for example, because you've written it from the get-go, then you then put the percentages of each person, what you would like them to receive, or who you want it to go to, for example. So use this like as your notes. For example, you can make this how you want to, but this is giving you a really good idea. and how you can actually benefit. Now let's go to the next one here. Right, so now we've got the gold, silver, 10-year stacker planner. So here this is 10 years, okay? So the first year, the annual investment that you would have made is $7,620, for example. The gold allocation, $4,572, for example. Your silver, you're going to spend, say, $3,048. I'm just saying this, it all depends on what you can afford. Okay, so I'm using this as an example here because you've allocated for the first year on year, 7,620 is what you're going to put towards gold and silver every year, and you're going to split it between the gold and silver, for example. Then you're going to put, the ounces, for example, the gold ounces. How much did you buy for that year? 2.68, for example. It depends on what the rate is of gold, and the rate has gone down slightly down today due to the tariffs and things like that. Now with silver, that has also gone down slightly, but it does hold its value and it will go back up again. Okay, it's not like the currency. Okay, so here I've got here in the the 10-year stacker plan, for example, I've got here silver ounces is 152.4 ounces, for example. So then you're going to look at your cumulative gold ounces and also your silver ounces, and as each year goes by, so we go to year 2, you can see line 2, for example, it's got, well, line 3, it's got number 2, it's got the annual investment, $7,620, for example. You're going to allocate $4,572 to the gold, and then your silver is $3,048 for your silver. The ounces for gold is 2.68, for example. Your silver ounces is 152.4. That then gives you the cumulative, the value that's been added on. So from the 2.68, it's then you've got an amount which has increased. You've doubled it, for example, by the amount here, which makes it 5.3788, for example. It then gives you what the silver ounces that you've got collectively in year 2, and that amounts to 304.8 ounces, for example. Okay, so this is the 10-year plan. As you can see, as each year goes along, you can see that there is an increase. For example, year 3, it then becomes 8.068 ounces in gold that you've collected. In silver, in the 3rd year, it becomes 457.2, and so on and so forth up to year 10. And the reason why I'm doing this video is so that you understand what it is that I'm giving you as a free gift, as a bonus for listening to the video as well. And here you can see here that this is the gold silver 12-month stacker planner, and this really gives you the values over a 12-month period of you buying gold and silver, for example. So this really gives you some incentive for your first year. You're going to be like, oh, I've done it for the first year, and that really should keep pushing you to do it again for another year. do it 1 ounce at a time, 1 ounce at a time. Okay, if you fall off 1 month, get back on and do it, because this is your future. This is your planning for your future. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you all so that you can see what it is that you're getting, because the video that I did, for example, it was showing you in terms of, I was talking about it, but I wasn't showing you how it is to be used, for example. Okay, so join me for a lot more videos. I'm going to be going live tonight, for example, and I want you to be able to join me and to learn along with me about building wealth and investing in the future. So I'm going to be investing in your retirement, because as you know, 401s, Ks, it's getting a bit precarious. Pensions, we don't know, what the true value is going to be when it comes time for when we do need our pension. What will our actual pension amount really be come that time that it is due, for example? Okay, because there's been a lot of loss in the stock market, so we don't know, yes, they've got insurances, etc., but we don't know how much insurance they do have, because if it's something really if it's something really terrible, and really nobody has really planned for something like this that's happening with these tariffs, and it's causing the stock markets to crash. Apparently, this is the first time in 95 years that, this type of thing is happening. So start building with your gold and silver. Like I said, you can control that part of things. Even if you start with $35 or less a month, something is better than nothing. If you do like what I did in 2007, where I did the scrap gold and silver parties, I was buying gold and silver for 30% under value from what the spot price was. And I'm going to be doing more training on that, of how you can build a gold and silver business, because although you can buy these things, which is really great and wonderful, but everyone can do with a bit of jewelry if you're able to get the gold scrap as well as the silver scrap jewelry, for example. It really depends how much energy you've got and whether you want to be bothered or not. But what I'm saying to you is that everybody can start off somewhere, okay, from beginning to the higher level. There's a reason for all of us to be able to push forward with this. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's training. Check out those downloads, have a look at them, play around with them, start studying them, making your plan for this, building your wealth, stacking your gold and silver, and create that plan of, in 10 years, 12 years time, that you're going to really increase in value as well. So join me live tonight at 7 p.m. UK time, that's 2 p.m. New York time, for example, Atlanta time, and join me for what I'm talking about today, which is to do with gold and silver and IRA as well. So I look forward to speaking with you then. I hope that this was helpful to you, and let me know in the comments whether you've used it and what you've thought of it. It's very basic, it's not complicated. I didn't want this to be a complicated spreadsheet where you get lost with it. I want it to be simple for you so that you understand how to do it as well. And get yourself, if you can, put it on your computer, you're good to go. Alright, so thank you so much everyone, and I will speak with you later. Take care. Thank you. Bye.